up, guys? We are on our way to go pick up a GMC Acadia off the side of the road over in Brazoria. It seems to be suffering from the super common fuel pump module issue a bunch of the GM vehicles are suffering from right now. It left the customer and her kids stranded on the side of the road. They left it unattended. She got a ride and got her kids to a much safer place. We're gonna go pick it up and haul it to the dealership. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, so that's it. Pull up here. You can see it's a little bit rainy. Turn those off. I need to check on scene. Looks like it's raining pretty hard over there. Hopefully we don't get too wet on this one. They don't have any traffic coming at the moment. Oh, now we do. See, this is a 2022 GMC Acadia. These things have been having a really bad time with the fuel pump modules, as well as most of the other GM vehicles that are based off of these platforms. So that would be the Acadia, the Traverse, the Cadillac XT5 as well, I believe. It also plagues the full-size GM vehicles. If you've seen another one of my videos literally titled "I tow more of these than anything," it affects the full-size trucks and SUVs. So that would be like the Tahoes, Suburbans, Yukon, the Cadillac Escalades. I tow a bunch of those, all for that fuel pump module issue. And what it does is, like, that's one of the modules that controls when fuel needs to be sent to the engine and how much and all that stuff. And it goes dead, and so does the whole rest of the car. The bad part about that is, I'll show you in a minute, these cars have a push button electric shifter, and when, I don't want to get splashed with water or ran over, whenever they go dead, you can't get these things into neutral. As far as I'm aware, the only way to get them into neutral is on these, it's under the hood. You gotta take apart the air box, and you gotta have this like $400 cable tool to there's the key in the glove box. This little cable tool to hold this knob. I don't know if you can hear it. Hear how it spins and spins and spins and spins. It doesn't ever start. But see, it won't. See, look, conditions not correct for shift. I don't know how well you can see. Well, if you look, hit neutral, conditions not correct for shift. It has to, these have to actually start for you to be able to get them into neutral without the $400 cable tool that GM wants you to, the GM has at their dealerships, so they can put these things into neutral and roll them around. So the only other option is to use skates and drag them. Let this truck come by and I'm going to grab my skates. These should be front wheel drive, I believe, so we should only need 2 skates. And that is unfortunately the towing procedure for these things. Looks like it's got the parking brake set, which may or may not release. Turn on run mode to get it to. Parking brake is off now, so at least the back tires roll. Front tires still gonna drag. I hope GM comes up with a fix for this soon. Parking brake set again. Gotta love the electric parking brakes. I really hope GM comes up with a fix for this soon, because if I spent the kind of money that they want for these new vehicles, and it does this, and it's a common, like, well-known issue that it, you know, it does this, and then, like this particular instance, the customer had her small children with her, and it left them stranded here on the side of the road. Where's the hazard light button on this thing? Down there. All right. So now we're gonna roll the bed up here. I'm gonna throw a couple straps on this side here. Looks like the rain's about to start. I'm gonna throw a couple straps on this, get somewhere a little bit safer, and finish securing it down on the other side. And then we're gonna head over to the dealership to get this thing dropped off. Alright, so we're here at the local dealership, going to get the bed laid down. I'm going to try to turn off the parking brake one more time. I don't know how long it's going to stay off for us, hopefully long enough to get it all the way down. I might have to back up a little bit if it just doesn't want to stay off for us. Sometimes, I've seen a few comments about this, sometimes you can, especially on the GM vehicles, you buckle the seatbelt, you can trick it into keeping the parking brake from resetting. Most of the time on most modern vehicles, that only really works for the auto park, not the parking brake. Also going to leave the ignition on because I've had them set, especially on the GM vehicles, they set a lot whenever you do that with the ignition off. It automatically sets all the brakes. I'm going to have to shake this thing off. Luckily it's been raining, so the bed's wet, so it should shake off very easy. If not, I have parking brake just set again. So that sucks. I'm going to raise the bed now, get that little support bar off, and I'm going to back my truck up because now we're gonna have to do this the hard way. I'm gonna back up to where I want the rear tires to come off at. I can set the bed down. And now, since all four wheels are locked up, now I'm gonna get out my soapy water. Pump up sprayer, pressurized. This has Dawn dish soap in it. So the bed's already a little wet, so I'm just spraying it a little bit here to make it slick where the tires are gonna come off at. Since all four are not gonna slide for us, make sure we get under it. Try to get a little more angle in it. Fortunately, these are always a pain in the butt. Grease. Really don't like shaking it that hard. So this one wants to play hardball. I am going to have to re-rig do something I generally don't really like to do, but I have to do on occasion. I'm going to pull some extra cable off here. I'm going to get my snatch block. And we're gonna have to reverse snatch this thing off of here, which will save us on all the wear and tear on our hydraulics. Slide that down towards the end of the bed. Now obviously, I now have to turn my hooks around because we need them on this side of the control arm, not this side. Skates aren't doing us any good anymore. So So now, more cable do we need? It's gonna start raining on us again. My luck. Pull this all the way down here. So now, I don't know how well you can see, we have snatch block at the end of the bed. It runs out of the winch down to the snatch block, back up to the control arms, all right. So now all I'm doing is redirecting the pull, and even though the winch line's going straight into the winch, that is now going to, the snatch block being down there is now going to pull the vehicle off. Now, one reason I really don't like doing this as a primary means as you can see there, unless you take and just really shorten this up, that is as far off the bed as you can go. That's it, that's all you got. So we get to relax this now. I'm going to free spool the winch, and now the back tires are on the ground, parking brake's set. So now I can pull my bed out just like I normally would. About there. Walk my truck forward by lifting the back axle off just a little bit and extending out with the hydraulics. We're gonna push out one more time. This is about as far in as I can bring the bed and still make contact with the ground enough to raise the axle. Now I can pull the bed in, set the tires right on the ground, nice and easy. Extend back out, and now I can get my hooks back off of here. All this trouble because GM not only keeps putting out these vehicles with faulty parts, but because they also didn't engineer in, like almost every other manufacturer, a simple, effective way to get their vehicles into neutral when they die. Because eventually, for some reason or another, a vehicle is not gonna have power, and you're going to need it into neutral. That could be for a number of reasons. If you're working on them, roadside emergencies, you know, a number of reasons could warrant the need to have it in neutral without it running. And GM doesn't easily give you that means without taking apart the entire engine bay, or if you have a full-size truck, having to get underneath it and zip tie a wrench to the transmission lines, because that's how you have to do it on those. But hey, I'm no engineer. I'm just the one that gets to deal with the mess they made. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If y'all would, please subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for watching, guys.